Let's take a quick look here at the Layers panel as far as modifying the opacity of a layer. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can change the way that layers interact with each other. The one we're going to be looking at right now is the opacity. And the opacity is found right over here in the opacity control. Now, there are several ways that you can work with this. The first way is you can click on the little down arrow, and this gives you a slider so that you can see that you can make the top layer more transparent with respect to the bottom layer. And actually, if I turn this layer off, you can see that I can go in and you can see the transparency or the checkerboard come through that. Another way of handling that is to just go to the word opacity with your mouse, and you see you get the little finger with the double arrows on it, which is the scrubby slider, and that allows you to just click and drag the opacity, and it actually gives you more control over the amount of opacity that you're going to be working with. Now, if you know you want 10%, then basically all you have to do is double click in where it says 100% and type in 10, and you've got your 10% opacity. But let's bring this on up to 100%. One more way to control the opacity is by the keyboard. And the way you do that is, first of all, make sure that the Move tool is selected, or just type V on your keyboard. And then what you can do is change the opacity in 10% increments just by typing in, say, a number 5. That makes it 50% opacity, or 8 for 80%. If you want to make a 75% opacity, type 75 fairly quickly, and that will do it for you. To get back to 100% opacity, you just type a 0. There is another type of opacity just below that called fill opacity. We are not going to be talking about that now. We'll talk about fill opacity when we get into layer effects.